allow the two things. It's okay. It's okay. Off your mic. It's okay. She off your mic.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. My ego diary politico, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo. They touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you lie down, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My egun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego now I'm on, I'm on do. My ego diary, I be number one. My ego now I'm on do. My ego diary, I be number one. My ego today, oh, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. My ego diary, I be number one. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. My ego diary, I be number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Máyégún já wa sí. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Máyégún máa wí. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Máyégún diary politico. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Máyégún. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Àní Máyégún làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Máyégún diary na ibi number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Máyégún ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. bá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Máyégún ti dé.
Presidiot bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn àjò.
Today. Hello there. So good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you're joining us. It is Máyégún live. Thank you very much, brethren, for joining me. Please, after reading the caption of the broadcast, kindly read the description as well. And please, like the broadcast. Then share it to all platforms that you can, to invite your friends and also friendly friends. And tell them to come, because Máyégún is live. And if you have done that, thank you. So, to those who are regular Templars on Máyégún's Diary Political, every day is a page in the chapters of abnormalities taking place in Nigeria. On Máyégún's Diary Political, the regular Templars knows the actors and the players, they call them, who are part and parcel of the ruinous system that the rogues have sustained so well for decades now. We know them by their names. We know them by their deeds. We don't care about their tribe, religion, ethnic connection, political class, or what have you. Because if the rogues destroying Nigeria are not identifying by their tribes, ethnic and all that, they are so united. It's like an unwritten code. Their victims shouldn't be divided in treating them as who they are. And that is what Máyégún's Diary Political encourages, teaches every day, as much as possible. So it can come as a storytelling, because you just don't read by headlines. You actually have to, in fact, if you even read the body of their nonsense right in the open, we have discovered that they have always been living out in the open most of the clues for most of their criminal activities. Now it depends on you. Which of them do you think you can ignore? And which of them do you have to take personal? In this instance, you are likely going to have to take everything personal before you can be motivated in standing up to these rogues. Right now, the button of self-destruction has been pressed by these guys. And I'm putting my money on them. That as they are already gearing towards their 2027 charade, the power play, the power struggle, where the people who are supposed to be the core factor in whatever it is they are planning, the people have become the least, if not inconsequential. We have seen political class, politicians holding political offices in Nigeria come out, especially those ones with the ruining party, the APC. They have boldly come out to gaslight not just the citizens, but they have came out to make bold statements. Statements like, if we do it years and nothing will happen. You know, despite the widespread angers, much as we can call it anger. You know, anger misdirected in most cases. Anyway, we believe that for the rogues who have captured Nigeria, for them to be destroyed, they would have to start the destruction within themselves. The political class, power united them, greed united them, self-centeredness, united them. And these things are what will also destroy them. But it is so unfortunate that they also have citizens in large numbers who are either miseducated, poorly educated, or socially conditioned to behave in a certain way. This particular part makes it easier for these rogues to reinvent themselves, recreate themselves, rebrand themselves in order to present themselves as the saviors of the same victims again and again and again. They are banking on the poor education, especially civic education, responsibilities of citizens, responsibilities of the leaders, as it is well dictated, enacted, have been enshrined, that they call them, inside the real people's constitution, something that guides the action of the citizens, the led, and the leaders. Unfortunately, you don't have that. And what you have is the rebranding, recreation of these rogues. Repeating the same thing again and again, expecting a different result, is considered as one of the worst symptoms of lunacy. It's like a mental problem. And coincidentally, there is, an NBS record that says that over 75% Nigerians are suffering from one mental disorder or another. Why won't they? Who will be subjected to the kind of brutality, generational suppression, oppression that people have inherited again and again and still be normal? You see, all this talk. They are just to prepare you for what is still to come, and then possibly help you position your thoughts as well as maybe direct your action, because you won't have to save these rogues in order to actually save yourselves. You would not have to save them. Yesterday and 2 days ago, it became kind of like a clash of the strange bedfellows. First, Garbage Sheu published a book that he called a tell-it-all of Bokohari's government. He called it Beyond the Headlines. Beyond the headlines means, apart from what you read, there are things that you read just to be misled. The untruth, the internal bickering, the power struggle for relevance, control, even when Bokohari was a vegetable in London, why they kept doling out different lies upon lies and blackmailing and gaslighting their citizens. Why the guy that was supposed to be the commander-in-chief was lying like a vegetable, dead on the hospital bed in London. Anyway, in that book, he invited their friends, those who are from their clan within the Bokohari's circle when they were in power, as well as those they considered as friends within their APC and beyond, in which Boss Mustapha, the immediate past secretary to the government of the Federation of Nigeria, as one of the reviewers. Now that reviewing and a speech has created, or should I say has exposed, whatever it is they are hoping to remain buried, never to explode before their 2027 permutation. Now, let me explain that to you. Boss Mustapha, who was very much like a prominent actor in the destructive and murderous regime of Bokohari 2016 to 2023. He replaced Babashir Lawal the professional grass cutter, the guy who used 242 million naira to cut the grass around the IDP, camp in the Middle Belt. I'm talking about those displaced by the Boko Haram terrorists, those who survived, the victims of Boko Haram terrorism, living in the makeshift, uncompleted schools or abandoned schools in this part of Nigeria, right? So when Bokohari came to power, he appointed Garbage Sheu as the secretary to the government of the federation to rehabilitate the victims of Boko Haram at the time under a Lantan. Hundreds of billions of naira was kind of like allocated to his office. They created a Northeast Development Commission. All of these and the money allocated disappeared. And one of those money that got probed by the Nigerian Senate at the time, led by Saraki, of course. So in their probe, they discovered that Garbage Sheu, the secretary to the government of the federation, used 242 million naira to cut grass around the internally displaced people's camp in northern part of Nigeria. And this was around Ran in Borno. In order to cover it up, again, he employed the service of the Nigerian Air Force, who decided to go and bomb the same IDP camp 4 times, although they call it an accident, a wrong intel and all that. Eventually, Bokohari became sick, very sick, and he was flown to London. He didn't hand over power to his, he actually handed over power to his deputy on one of those occasions, right? And Pastor Ruga became the acting Presidiot of Nigeria. He was the one who eventually sacked Garbage Sheu, not without an arrangement. Arrangements like he could replace himself with anybody he liked. The person he appointed is Boss Mustapha, who became the secretary to the government of Nigeria under Bokohari, and the one that actually served throughout the rest of Bokohari's regime. Now, he was the deputy national chairman of the ACN, in a merger that produced APC, and of course, produced the calamity Bokohari. Now, fast forward to 2 nights ago. Before then, there has been different kinds of accusations and counter accusations, especially coming from the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, the Bat Idiots, the Bad Stats. They are accusing the CPC faction of their merger in APC, that is the Bokohari's faction, of being disloyal and not supportive of thiefnubu, not like how they did when they knew that Bokohari was a disaster. They still stood and defended him, but when it became the turn of thiefnubu, they sabotaged him. But he defeated them, and now they are ganging up in a coalition to make sure that the same thiefnubu is removed in 2027. Now, this has been going on behind the scene. They said thiefnubu made Bokohari. In fact, referencing this particular video, I'm going to use this one to take a break, okay? So I don't talk for the pastor, yeah? Right, so referencing the video of thiefnubu in Abeokuta, this particular video.
Kò ní ìdí ká kọrin Ògúndé Yorùbá sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀wẹ̀ ní bọ́ọ̀lù fàyàráyé ó gbá wọn sísàlẹ̀ ó gbá wọn sódò. Ọ̀rọ̀ orin kọ́, ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀tọ́ ni. Ó tásìkò náà tá a máa gbà á. Ọmọ tó mówó wálé ni bàbá àti ìyá ẹ̀ máa yan rìn. Agbára yìí kò ń ṣe fún Òkè Ọya nìkan. Tí ò bá sí àwa èmi tí ń dúró wájú yìí tí ń lérí ogun. Tí ní òkè Buhari nìṣó ká máa bá lọ. Kò ní di president. Ó ṣe kìíní olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kejì olùlẹ̀. Ó ṣe kẹta olùlẹ̀. Ó tiẹ̀ sunkún lórí tẹlifíṣàn pé láyé òun ò tún rán mọ́. Mo dẹ̀ lọ bá ń Kaduna wà rán ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀kún kọ́ lélẹ̀. Àdúró tiẹ̀ wà á dẹ̀ wọlé. nǹkan kan ní pé o ò ní fọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ṣeré ó dẹ̀ gbà àtijọ́ tó yẹ ti débẹ̀ mi ò gba mínísítà mi ò gba contract mi ì tọrọ ọbẹ̀ mi ì tọrọ gàrí mi ì tọrọ fúra lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ mi ì dẹ̀ ìyàwó ń bẹ̀ ó wá ní lọ́tẹ̀ yìí o Yorùbá ló kàn. Tá a bá dẹ̀ sa Yorùbá náà èmi ló kàn.
You remember that? Well, that was him addressing the APC delegates in Ogun State, where he categorically said he was the one who brought Bokohari back. And it was that move that he promised him, because Bokohari tried to be president in 2003, he failed. In 2007, he failed. In 2011, he failed. They were even mocking Bokohari that despite his 12.5 million votes, he couldn't become president of Nigeria until thiefnubu brought him. And he said, according to the agreement between them, after Bokohari, it will be his turn. This was them during the time of their APC, Egbekegbe formation. After Bokohari, it will be thiefnubu. After thiefnubu, it will be Atiku. It is only Atiku that is trying to bridge the gap, like jump the queue. First, challenging Bokohari. Second, challenging thiefnubu. And he wants to challenge him again. Now, the Boss Mustapha gang, they've had enough of that. So they decided to use the occasion of a Garbage Sheu to tell the world exactly what happened. They said, thiefnubu is just one local champion. That's not how he said it too. That's my own language. But that's how you're going to understand it, because since then, in fact, the way I'm going to say it right now, I believe that is actually the way thiefnubu's gang have received it, because since last 48 hours, but hang on. Boss Mustapha said thiefnubu is just a local champion. That Bokohari was actually the bride that everybody needed at that time. Indeed, they said Bokohari had 12.5 million votes ready. Jonathan from the Niger Delta had been doing everything to lock down the South around that time. So they believed that if thiefnubu made deal with Egbere Jolantan would have gotten a second term. Bokohari would have lost, and there would not have been APC, but that would be a wrong political permutation. So the fitting permutation is that let us push this Bokohari, and in fact, thiefnubu was going to be his running mate until the Sarakis and all that rejected that. But he was given the right of first refusal. That's how Pastor Ruga became running mate to Bokohari. So they said it was just that little key that the 2015 election results, the credit of that should actually be given to Goodluck Jonathan. That's what Boss Mustapha said, not thiefnubu. He said thiefnubu's vote is insignificant because Egbere Jolantan was going to implement the electoral reform he signed, which was that for the first time, they were going to use the card reader. And the amount of accredited voters, if it doesn't match the amount of votes, vote cast, right? That simply means that that polling unit, the election there should be cancelled. They said that was what saved or made Bokohari president. That thiefnubu shouldn't be ascribing all of that to himself, because both thiefnubu as well as the new PDP Atiku, combined with others who are part of the merger of APC, they say add all of their votes together, now just about 2.8 million votes. Because finally, the total vote of Bokohari in 2015 was 15 point something million. And if you remove his 12.5, now 2.8 remain. Putting thiefnubu in his place without actually, calling his name. So significantly, that got to the Koolu's people. What did they do? Plus the ongoing coalition, plus the Peter Obi's phenomenon. Although Ona-Ofun-Nuga has returned back to Nigeria from Brazil, no one has told them, or he hasn't even shared with them, where is Koolu? BRICS Summit in Brazil, in Rio, is over. But where is Koolu? We'll come back to that one. Ona-Ofun-Nuga returned back to Nigeria. Apart from all the moves of El Rufai and gang that they've tried to dismiss or pretend that it is inconsequential, so right now, the narrative up north, in northern part of Nigeria, is that thiefnubu is an OTP, one-term president. And whatever propaganda they are going to push, thiefnubu is gone. Now to Ona-Ofun-Nuga, well, it's like imagination won't finish all of you. Who is gone? Koolu, gone. We are not worried. So, to him, those who matter are with thiefnubu. Those who tried to stop him from getting the APC ticket are the same people who don't even have any clout or what have you, are the ones who are making all these threats. That's how Ona-Ofun-Nuga sees it. In fact, listen to this.
And let me start by asking you what you think of the assertion by the former secretary to the government, Boss Mustapha, that Bola Tinubu was not responsible for making Muhammadu Buhari president of Nigeria in 2015. Is that something that you've given some thought to?
Let me say, I was there, I was at the event. Boss Mustapha did not say it that way. He didn't say it that way. What he was saying was that the whole issue about the alliance, or the merger at that time, that the ACN, which was the principal part of the alliance, it has 6 governors at that time. The CPC of President Buhari only had 1 governor. And then the ANPP was part of the merger, I think with 3 or 4 governors. And then the ABGA, represented by Okorosha, was also part of the alliance. You see, the ACN, as ACN, from 2011, they had seen a possibility that if all these forces come together, they could win the presidency. Buhari was returning, in 2003 election, they returned 12 million votes. In 2007, when votes were repressed all over the country by Obasanjo's INEC, Buhari returned 6 million. But in 2011, he made another 12 million votes. So it was clear. In fact, ACN then started talking to Buhari in 2011, before that 2011 election. But Buhari did not listen. He thought he could go it all alone. He went into that election again and he failed. So after that election, then they reopened talks. So you see, you cannot win this thing alone. You needed some kind of alliance. And what people twisted what Boss Mustapha said. It was clear to ACN, a very strategic arm of that alliance, that without support, without additional support, there was no way Buhari could have won an election. Yeah, I was getting 12 million votes. If we put all 19 states in the north together, 12 million votes. But in the south, Buhari was nowhere. Buhari needed...
And you need that spread.
You need that spread.
Yeah.
ACN had 6 states. 6 states. So if you look at the result of that election, he got the votes he needed in those 6 states. They may not be in millions.
But they were strategic.
They were important votes.
Right.
They
strategic.
gave him, he won in all those 6 states, and he got more than 25%. So at the end of the day, he won in about 25 states, more than the constitutional requirement of 24 states. So that was how he won. And you see, people were just turning what Boss Mustapha said very mischievously. Buhari himself, as president, even out of office, he never forgot the help that Bola Tinubu rendered to him. He never forgot it because he knew that without that alliance, without Bola Tinubu being in the picture, there was no way he could have been president. There was no way. It was so clear.
Right.
So all these people, all these things people are talking about, turning things, twisting things, they are just merely mischievous. Without Bola Tinubu, there was no way we would have had a Buhari presidency in Nigeria.
Right. Well, that's trying to replicate, in a sense, what the APC did in 2015. Why do you think this political shake-up is happening now, with 2 years still to go before the next presidential election?
Well, let me say, in my view, they are jumping the gun. It's not yet time for politicking, as they are doing.
Well, they would say that your party is doing the same thing. You're co-opting people from the opposition to beef up your strength in the APC.
Well, we didn't go the way they are going about it. The alliance or the merger that we had in 2013 was not as noisy as these people are making it. They are not as you didn't give much distraction to the government in power. But the way they are doing is as if INEC has blown the whistle for party politics to start, but that is not so. But you see, they are free. This is a free country. People can come together to form all kinds of alliances. But as far as APC is concerned, we are not seeing them as any threat. If you merge Peter Obi and Atiku together, there's no way the two of them can beat a Bola Tinubu Shettima ticket. It's not going to be possible.
Yeah, but separately,
they went to election alone. Atiku went to it alone. Peter went to it alone. But let me tell you something. If Peter allies with Atiku in 2027, he will not get the blind followership we got in 2023. It will not happen. Because those ones who say no, they want you to be president. They don't want you to be vice president. So that will never happen.
But there
that's why I look at it. They are just trying their luck. They are trying to do all kinds of permutations. But I can tell you, the APC will still be in power in 2027.
Right. But
President Tinubu's achievements in office will speak for him.
There are some who used to be in your party and the president's party, the APC, but who feel aggrieved and pushed aside by Mr. Tinubu. Some of them believe they worked very hard in the 2023 presidential election, but the president failed to come back. And let me start by...
So that's Ona-Ofun-Nuga. He's 70, how old is he again now? 79, I'll be 78. I don't know, in between, you know, and he's a special advisor to thiefnubu on social media matters. So he has to make comments when people like us say something and all that. So that's why he gets paid somehow, right? And he's a very good deflector too, you know. So there is no way this opposition can beat this thiefnubu, because what they are doing cannot be likened or equated to how they did their own merger and all that stuff. And thiefnubu actually did go extra miles for Bokohari in one of those epic moments before everybody realized that they thought they were electing, you know, a macho man, only to discover that now one you know, older Suegbe, they end up going to get offered. Remember this speech in Abeokuta.
Every nation have a period of their own challenges. When America was challenged, they turned to one great man, their ex-military general, General Eisenhower. Correct? When French was challenged, they turned to their general, Charles de Gaulle. Correct? When Britain was challenged, they turned to their great general, Winston Churchill. Correct? Today, Nigeria is challenged, economically challenged, Ruto with General Muhammad Buhari is the right man for the job. If you talk of military experience, he has it abundantly. If you talk of courage, he has it abundantly. If you talk of simplicity, he has it abundantly. If you talk of great determination, a combination of vision and ability to perform, honesty and integrity, he has it abundantly. Abundant. 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 Allow. I'm coming back up.
Koolu. So that was like 10 years, well, over 10 years ago. So by the time Bokohari was done with Nigeria, the irony, Bokohari was jobless and gainfully employed Nigerians donated their money when this druggie and his gang packaged this genocidist as a repentant general. That's what they called him. He had no job. He had 150 cows. The one that he inherited from his late wife. 150 cows in 1986. 150 cows in 1990. 150 cows in 1999. 150 cows in year 2000 and 150 cows even in year 2010. Until 2015, his cows remained 150. An unproductive element. He didn't kind of like acquire any additional knowledge, education. He didn't write any book about his military, whatever. He's got nothing up there, jobless, retired, and depended solely on whatever Nigeria was given to him at the time, until this guy brought him back. So by the time they gave the #1 job of Nigeria to that lifeless mannequin, Bokohari, millions of Nigerians who participated and those who didn't participate, including businesses that participated and didn't participate, when Bokohari was done, millions of them became jobless. What an irony. And that's why they said when Bokohari was jobless, gainfully employed Nigerians, they called him to come and change Nigeria. Which means they gave him a job. By the time he is done, millions of them have become not only jobless, so they have swelled the basket of the poverty, what have you, in Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria won the award as the poverty capital of the world under these guys. Life, many others who could jackpot. Those who were singing change. Majority of them are, okay, maybe not majority of them. Many of them now live abroad. Successfully, it's been over the years. Some of them have now become British. Some have become Americans. Now they are loving Nigeria from abroad. You see, life, as those who will die, have been slaughtered, killed, never to be remembered. Not by the government, but the only people that remembers them are their family. In this short time, this was not 50 years ago, 60 years ago. This was just 3 years ago. Now, those who are part of that have now rebranded to come and face the druggie who is now in charge, dealing with everybody, to say they want to rescue us from him. One of them is Onoche, Loretta Onoche. Remember her? She don't make video as we speak.
Democratic principles include citizen participation, equality, tolerance, accountability, and transparency. These principles ensure that citizens have a voice, are treated fairly, and can hold their government responsible. These include the rule of law, free and fair elections, and respect for human rights. Here's a fairly more detailed look at these key principles. Citizen participation. All citizens should be treated equally under the law and have equal access to opportunities regardless of background or status. As it applies to Nigeria, these would be regardless of one's tribe, religion, political party, and financial status. Tolerance. Democratic societies must respect the rights and opinions of minority groups and those with differing views. Accountability. Government officials and institutions must be answerable to the public for their actions and decisions, same way everyone is answerable to the laws of the land. For instance, budgets should be open to public scrutiny, especially after undergoing selfish padding at the National Assembly. Transparency. Government operations and decision-making processes should be open and accessible to the public, promoting trust and preventing corruption. Citizens have the constitutional rights, backed by the Freedom of Information Act, to demand the release of necessary information, and the government is bound by the law to respond to the demands of free and fair elections. Elections should be conducted regularly with universal suffrage, everyone eligible to vote, and without coercion or fraud. The role of the security network should only be limited to maintaining law and order, nothing else rule of law. The word injustice applies where some citizens are less equal than others who are above the laws. Respect for human rights. Democracy inherently protects fundamental human rights, such as freedom of speech, religion, and assembly. Separation of powers. Everyone, including the government, is subject to and accountable under the laws and the Constitution. Power is typically divided among different branches of government, legislative, executive, judicial, to prevent any one entity from becoming too powerful. Unfortunately,
is God not wonderful? That's what they would say. They would say, is God not wonderful? The same people that used DSS, Interpol, and so many other unconventional means to jail their critics and defended same on their national TV, justified it. Malami and gang, were long. Now they say, God, is God not wonderful? But there's something I want you to notice. The moment they go on TV to defend something that people have established a bit of a theory around, like, what is it like going to be with thiefnubu and his gang, as it is being peddled, right, that there are many of them, especially from northern Nigeria, that won't leave the APC, because they will have to make sure they destroy the thiefnubu, whatever it is, from within. That is their plan. While thiefnubu's backers are saying, well, you don't know thiefnubu because thiefnubu is not Jonathan. So thiefnubu is going to make sure that he flush out all those he suspects. They say, well, by the time he begins to flush them out, he may realize that the only people left with him are those who are using their own tribal feeding portal card. Because you need your tribal card to eat from thiefnubu's sort of like a national cake now. Do you understand? So you have to flash your tribal card. If in no way, the tribal card will determine what you are going to get. So they are telling him that the Ronu coups, the Ronu Nazis, the Lagos Aboba coups, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, they said those who are their crumb eaters, crumb chasers, ass lickers, all rightsers. thiefnubu will realize that those are going to be those left with him, and others that is managed to use his money and public fund to buy to his side. They won't be loyal. Anyway, in all of this, when you see them come out to tell you, no, it's not what you think, it's just social media regulation, when they deny, just know that there is more than what you even know, or what we think we know. Here is one of them, telling us that, no, the CPC people and Bokohari, they are still with thiefnubu in his word.
Give us an understanding of what you make of Boss Mustapha's statement from that yesterday's book launch.
Sheu, and good evening, Nigeria. Good evening, Nigerians. My senior brother, Boss Mustapha, certainly got it wrong. because probably, I can't even remember where he was that time. If people can remember very well, my own face from 2001 to date, I'm one of Buhari's faces, people that have stood by and for him all through up to the time he finished the presidency. And moving forward to 2014, former governor of Ekiti State was the chair, that's Kayode Fayemi, was the chairman of the convention committee. And each presidential candidate at that time, aspirants, Muhammad Buhari, I was Honorable Farouk Adam Ali, who was his representative on that committee. So I was his returning officer. There is Honorable Greg from Imo State, who represented Atiku Abubakar. There was Honorable Mai Angua, who represented late Samda Isaiah. I can't remember the person who represented Kwankwaso. Now, at that time, I can confess to you and to all Nigerians that, yes, it's true that we've all along come with the 12 million votes or even more for Muhammadu Buhari. But did we ever win the election? Were we declared? In certain instances, 2011, we thought we won, But something happened, we were not declared. But officially, we were not declared. Buhari was not declared as the winner. Let me tell you that time, Kano State, when Kwankwaso was the governor, his team was led by Ganduje. And in Jigawa, I remember very well, some members from Jigawa State, some from Kano, in most part of the northwestern part of this country, did not vote for Buhari at all. That was even how Kwankwaso became second. And I was one of the people whom Fashola, he's alive, you can ask him. Fashola gave me an aircraft to bring delegates from Jigawa and Kano State to help vote for Buhari. And it was Tinubu who rallied all the southwestern votes for Buhari, all of them. But I can confess to you, the northwestern part of this country, where Buhari came from, or comes from, did not vote for him all along. So Tinubu played great role in Muhammad Buhari's emergence as the candidate. Anybody who tells you that probably does not know history. And as I said, my senior brother, Boss Mustapha, certainly was not in that equation. And you see, unfortunately, there are so many of these Buhari converts whom were not with us, were not with Buhari. I don't want to mention names, but most of them who happened by accident or fate became what they became. And they're trying to deconstruct history. It is not true. Tinubu assisted, contributed, helped Muhammad Buhari to get the ticket, by extension also winning the election, because he followed us to campaign all over the country. And I don't want these kind of issues to be brought about between Buhari and Tinubu, because there are no issues. Buhari has said it, Tinubu has said it. So why whip these sentiments that are not there? So I'm confirming to you, and if anybody can challenge me that I was not the returning officer in Lagos, let him come out and speak to you to tell you that it's not the truth. And if anybody can also come and say, I have not been one of the people around Muhammad Buhari from the day he started. There is nothing in this country that we didn't go through. The traversities of intimidations and so on. And I went through referendum. I keep saying that. The only member who went through referendum, to be recalled, all because of my association with Muhammad Buhari. So where are all these people? Where were they when...
Now, the point there is this. If everything is fine, why do we need all this shalaye? Everything is not fine. And it is good that everything is not fine. You just need to pay attention very well. Once their firestorm begins to eat, they are the people that will eat up the polity. They are the people that will unleash their different armed groups. And when I say armed, not just the physically armed, there are other armed weapons being used, which is the media. So last, they want one thing: power, control. So every one of them, or every group is meeting and trying to outdo one another. And like I said before, in all of their scheming, all of their plotting and the rest, the least, if not insignificant factor is the people. You are not part of the plan. In fact, in their plan, where they are planning, that, okay, this is how we're going to go about it. You know, once we start now, you first talk this one here, now that then once we get to December, okay, and that's how we're going to go about it. We'll unleash this one, we'll unleash that one after themselves. So if in the whole plot and plan, they have to kill people, they'll say, okay, how many people? So there may be a little problem here and maybe here. Also, we have seen the judiciary, we have seen the judges. So this justice, so is on our side. Also, this and that, but that we may have a problem here. Okay, is there a problem that we can take care of at all? Yeah, we can. It's just that they are very stubborn. We may have to like kill about 200-300 people. 200-300 people. Are you sure it's not going to be more than 200 or 300 people? Give me a figure. Yeah, between 200-300 or 350, because you know they also have their own, that terrain. Because we need to spread fear. For instance, we can deploy the Fulani terrorists to this part, and they can operate for just 2 weeks. And at the end of the day, we will see like maybe 400. See, you know what? Let's just round it up. 500, Abi. Let's say 500 people will die. You know what? You need to make sure that it's no more than 500. I'm going to be very pissed if it's 501 people that die. No, Oga. No, we are going to tell their boys, okay? That's why we are thinking of using that one the gun we got from, this, God, I said, no. 500, no more, no less. Now, human being, in the process of where they are plotting and planning to take power, this one will be like, I say, our opposition are planning 500. Say, exactly. Do you think we're going to have the same problem in their side? Yeah, I want to reach 1,000 people. Okay, all right, 1,000. Now you that they take calculate, so women, children, Nigerians that they are telling that they are coming to protect. So in the course of them seeking this power, if they have to kill as many of you as possible, if they have to kind of like direct their terrorism to this part or direct it to that part, ensure that people are totally displaced and those who can run, kill them. They can do that. That's how dangerous these rogues are. And I'm not even just acting it out. You know what I mean? One of them is rufai, because there's another book launch. This time, a former Attorney General of Nigeria, Adoke, who happened to be the Minister of Justice during the Jonathan's time. Rufai was there. He used the occasion to talk about those who betrayed him, those he gave his heart, and all they did was to stab him in that heart, and at the same time team up with others to destroy him. But somehow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been very kind to him, and right there and then where Shettima was also on seats, Rufai told him and others that their time will come to an end soon. But wait for Shettima's response. That one is also another intentional gaffe. If they say they no get problem, no wahala. The more they get, the closer they get to their plan, their charade, the more uncomfortable and as well as let out incident like this or moments like this will be happening. First, Rufai, the Kaduna little finger.
And at this point in time, rest very solidly on the shoulder of the immediate past governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency Malam Nasir El-Rufai, to please join us here for his goodwill message. Please, can we invite him with a resounding applause, please? And for want of time, I've been asked to plead with other speakers to please keep to just 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Can we please put our hands together one more time for His Excellency?
Thank you, MC. I have to adjust after Shei's height. And this podium literally covers most of my height because some of us are vertically challenged. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellencies, my colleagues, former governors, including my 70-year-old classmate, Ahmed Muazu. I didn't know you were that much older than me. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to use this opportunity to congratulate my brother, Mohammed Bello Adoke, for his second book. I enjoyed the first book thoroughly, and I look forward to reading the second book. Books like this are necessary, not only to put the record straight, not only to give the opportunity of those persecuted to vent and put things in perspective, but also to encourage a culture of memoir writing in public service. We don't write enough in this country. We don't pass enough of our experiences, both good and bad, to the next generation. So I want to congratulate you for your second effort. I'm working on my own second effort as well. About 12 years ago in this hall, I presented The Accidental Public Servant, which was a record of my experience in public service at the time, which showed how friends abandon you, betray you, how those that you've been good to turn around against you. And everyone told me I made a mistake, that I will never go near public service again, because in Nigeria, when you are in government, you eat, you keep quiet, and you come back and you remain silent. I don't think I had anything to hide in public service years. I still don't. And I know AG, that's what I call him, Bello Adoke, has nothing to hide. So you can write a book like that and hold your head high, because you know you did nothing wrong while holding public office. I appeal to those in power today to remember that their turn will come. Our turn always comes, but it goes. I want to congratulate my brother for this. I'm looking forward to reading the book because I really want to understand the role of various actors in this. Because I've had discussions on OPL 245 several times with President Buhari. I had special relationship with him. I had access to him. Everyone knows. And everyone also knows that Mohammed Bello Adoke was one of those that stood and persuaded President Jonathan to actually concede the 2015 election. So we should actually thank him as the APC government of 2015, not persecute him. So I want to understand, because I've had discussions when this was going on several times with President Buhari, and I did not have the impression that he had any interest in the matter other than allowing due process to proceed. So I want to understand, I want to read it, and I want to learn as well. But my brother, congratulations for an excellent job, and I urge all of us in public service, particularly some of the more experienced people here, Governor Muazu, Senator Kwankwaso, We are waiting for your books. No, seriously. Because not only those of us that are slightly younger than you and less experienced would learn, but also the next generation will also learn a lot. You too, you must write your own book.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Yeah, that's the little finger. He's a prominent member of their coalition. Just a reminder, okay? So when they are claiming that thiefnubu made Bokohari, what's that name? Rufai's supporters also published a video that seemed to finally turn the tide in favor of thiefnubu at the last minute. He didn't just go all out for thiefnubu. He also mobilized the northern governors at the time. I mean, they gave him credit of that though, right? Here, quickly.
Grace of God. I want to thank Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for resisting all entreaties that he should not honor this invitation. He was told that this whole arrangement is meant to endorse a particular candidate. But he insisted that even if the arrangement was to endorse a particular candidate, I will come and I will change their mind. We thank you for your courage, for your confidence in our people, and for coming here to present your case. I'm speaking as your host and governor of Kaduna State, so I will not campaign for my candidate. But you all know who it is. It is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and by the grace of God, the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When the northern APC governors met one Saturday evening and took a position that we insist that in our party, power must rotate to the south. We did so out of the understanding of our sense of history. We always ask ourselves as northern governors, what would Sir Ahmadu Bello do in the circumstances? What would Tafawa Balewa do? What would Aminu Kano do before we take a position? Because we are the inheritors of that legacy. The 19 northern governors and the Minister of FCT are the direct inheritors of the legacy of Ahmadu Bello Sardauna of Sokoto, Allah ya masa rahama. We are conscious of that burden of responsibility, and that is why when we debate to take decisions, we have these illustrious sons of northern Nigeria as our reference point. And we took that position without...
That was 2 years ago. It's not that long ago. Hang on, it's actually like 2.5 years ago. El Rufai. And that's why they said, thiefnubu did him dirty. But in that same hall where Shettima was seated, right? It was now his turn to say something. Among many other jargons he said there, this particular part, identifying with everyone in the room and questioning where or what is their new political party. And then he called them, we are all one, something that divided, what unites us is more than what divides us, blah, blah, blah. Then he took it further to thank Tambua as well as Adoke for discouraging Goodluck Egberejolantan from removing him as governor of Borno State. And they told Egberejolantan, you had no such power. That has now been, it has led to another defense. So, wanting to defend the Shettima for that statement. I'm going to get to that. Shettima, please. Maiduguri, Elon Musk.
For where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. In the last 4 years of the Jonathan administration, I was the most demonized person. I was the public enemy #1. And there are two gentlemen seated here. Certain decisions are taken in a very rare peace cycle. The president, the vice president, the Senate president, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have shared the sword and have now recalibrated our relationship, was mooting the idea of removing this Borno governor, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, had the courage to tell the President that, Your Excellency, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The President was still not convinced. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. I admire Mr. Mohammed Bello Adoke fundamentally for his courage and for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then president that, Mr. President, you do not have the power to remove a sitting governor, not even a councillor. They sought for the opinion of another SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring with the opinion of my senior colleague. That was how the matter was laid to rest, but that was how my relationship with Mr. Bello Adoke and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal became eternally sealed. The former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Chairman of the occasion, His Excellency Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, ably represented by the former President of the Senate, Senator Anyim Pius Anyim, GCON. Former Senate President, who is conspicuously absent, he has left since then. My brother, the amiable Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, and the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Comrade Joel Salifu. You have to be amiable because you are a bloody Deputy Governor, so. Members of the National Assembly present here, most especially Senator Aliu Ahmed Wadada, Chairman Senate Committee on Public Accounts, and Senator Kaka Shehu Lawan, who succeeded me as the Senator for Borno Central. The Attorney General of the Federation, ably represented by the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mrs. Beatrice J.D. Akbar. I prepare to call it Beatrice. This is how we Northerners call it, Beatrice J.D. Akbar. The ambassador of Italy tonight.
That's a Shettima. Somebody said, Miss, what is your name again? Miss Rose. Oh my God, I actually clocked someone who asked, a Templar who asked that, how did Mayegun come up with, okay, Miss Yerox. How did Mayegun come up with all these names? I didn't come up with the name. Have you never listened to the guy? Yeah. Is Maiduguri Kim Jong-un? If we have to put it in the context of somebody in power. Shettima was the guy who said, restructuring my put. The Elon Musk is thinking about to go to the moon. And you are talking about restructuring. That's how he became my degree, Elon Musk. So if the guy was not a politician, he would probably be a scientist that is constructing rockets for ISWAP in the Sahel. You know what I mean? Or be working for NASA. That too is possible. He's a rocket guy, and he likes to speak like he's an orator. Listen to him. Shettima, my degree, Elon Musk. Odelepeni, my degree, King Jong-un, Iwolomo.
Elon Musk is talking about constricting the journey from London to New York to 31 minutes. But unfortunately, the topical issue in Nigeria is restructuring. Restructuring my foot. To hell with restructuring. Let's improve on the quality of governance. Let's work for the people. Let's invest in education. Let's create jobs. All this madness will evaporate. I raise my case. Elon Musk is talking about constricting.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not, the time is coming when you won't need a car to travel.
Of course, if I want to go to New York. A time is coming. That is what Iroboye should have said in that video. Like you're my Duguri King Jong-un, I've been your my Duguri Elon Musk. Anyway, let's leave that, okay? Because this is not funny. Are you saying that Shettima is not aware that his own druggy boss removed the state governor, suspended the state governor, a state house of assembly? And he is aware. Maybe if thiefnubu sought his advice as his vice, maybe Shettima would have shared the same story with Koolu and say, Pablo Escobar, if what you're about to do was allowed to be done by one of your predecessors, I won't even be sitting here. That's an abuse of power. You don't have that power. But rather than him call thiefnubu and say, Oga, I just heard your announcement to suspend maybe he dare not tell Koolu, maybe. Somebody with a talk say when they are, inside. Can you believe this? So true story. And they come out to defend it all the time. I say, no, it's not true. No, it's not. That is not what happened. They say, once, that outside, there's a way they package Koolu. You see this my agbada now. Let me put it in the wider picture. You see this my agbada as it is now, Now you can hide a lot that you can see it, all right? So thiefnubu's urine bag, okay, is usually tagged. They have a special pocket for where they put his urine bag. I don't know if he uses, diapers yet. I don't know. But that of the urine, what have you, it does. Now, once you see all these things, you see Koolu outside for the camera, this and that, they take him inside. If he needs to meet people, they may say, oh, let's do everything together in the next 2 hours because they have to take him back somewhere. Okay? And when that somewhere could be inside the asshole rock, mostly is. Shettima, who happened to be his vice, living down the road, Aguda house. They said if he wants to go and see Koolu, despite the fact that they have to make arrangements to that, okay, he's coming. They work it out. They say like me and you, like Gatesman, and so Shettima go sit down for inside the car or sit down outside. Until where they talk, say, okay, yeah. Sure, just said you should come in. is so irrelevant, inconsequential, that they just have to add him every week. They will hand him a list of where thiefnubu wants him to go and all that. He is that useless. So he used the occasion to say, it's wrong. That's wrong. There's a rumor that he's being they are planning to remove or replace him. So he may not even be a vice president by next year. You didn't hear that from you, because now so I hear him, but I didn't kind of grab the source. That statement, plus all these things going on around their political space right now, as much as they are telling themselves that they are in charge, no worries, nothing, leave all these people, they are noise makers, as you do this and that. They had to force this Unwokocha. Is that his name? I've been Unwokocha. That is a Shettima's social media assistant. To go and release a statement and say, you people have you like to misread something. You know, that's why I said you like to misrepresent issue. You have to misinterpret what somebody said. You know what he didn't say? He didn't say, he couldn't say, sorry, hang on, not what he didn't say. What I think he's actually saying is that you people like to put somebody for trouble. Shettima was just trying to express himself. At least it's a democracy. He has a freedom of speech. Now, don't put him for trouble. That he went outside to go and tell the world that thiefnubu is a dictator, a tyrant, and possibly a lunatic. Listen to this guy.
And so he spoke on how it was that former Speaker Aminu Tambuwal and, of course, Bello Aduke advised the then President Jonathan against removing him. And then, unfortunately for us, we have some section of the media that has taken it out of context. And so I think that is totally wrong, because what the Vice President was speaking about was about how the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan attempted to perpetually remove him from office. Now, the word there is remove. Okay, what we have in play in Rivers State now is being want to be juxtaposed with, given the rupture in the media, in some section of the media over this, is that here you have a vice president who is criticizing, so to speak, or picking holes in the actions of the president. Let me put it for the records, that this vice president is totally in support of the actions taken in Rivers State. This vice president has never questioned the action of Mr. President and will never do that. This vice president said that, look, that there was an attempt to remove him from office by the then president of Nigeria, President Goodluck Jonathan. What we have in play today is suspension of a governor, right? Suspension of the government of Simfubara in Rivers State. It is totally different from the attempted removal of the then Governor Shettima in Borno State. And I think we must give accolades to the president, because if not for his actions, if not for the bold decision he took in Rivers State, by now nobody would have been discussing about Simfubara. He would have been perpetually impeached. Impeached means, look, there wouldn't have been any space for him to come back. And so if you have a situation where you have discussions, as it is being alleged, going on to bring him back, it gives some accolade that, look, that this president exercised wisdom. Because otherwise, by now, Simfubara would have been gone. And nobody would have been talking about his coming back. But through that action, you can see that, look, that there's opportunity for the governor to come back. Secondly, again, is the calm and peace that has returned to Rivers State ever since this particular president took this action. We have seen stability in Rivers State. We have seen calmness return to Rivers State against the destruction of properties, both at the state level and, of course, some of our national assets being destroyed at that point in time, as against the credible intelligence report too that was at the disposal of Mr. President. So for those who are trying to pitch the heads of Mr. President and his vice, I dare say there is nothing like that. This vice president remains loyal, absolutely loyal, remains committed to the renewable agenda of Mr. President, and will continue to support this president. And let no one be deceived. For each and every member of this administration, from the vice president down to his aides, we are in support, totally in support of the president's actions, no regrets whatsoever.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Somebody's papa. So if I was closer to that person, I'll be like, necessary. Can you explanation? What are you explaining? Can you wait? Just to come and tell us that Shettima and Koolu no get sense. That he has to explain himself. Like, wait to, hey, what if Shettima is actually calling for help? Have you thought about that? Director Scott, I know say Shettima na Boko Haram sympathizer with evidence. So don't change your face for me and say, am I going to say that? Be probably a back paroni. What if Shettima is actually calling for help? I say, help me, oh. Please, people save me, oh. From Koolu. There's an evidence that they said the new place that Abuja house, the vice president's house, and the new one, 21 billion new mansion that were the weekend just finished. They say Shettima discovered that secret cameras are installed in the place, CCTV cameras in some critical spot of the property, which means even if Shettima enter a room with a wife, they go know which of the wives and when. Shettima right now is now living in his house in Abuja. He is not, as a vice president of Nigeria, very soon they will come out and deny it, by the way. So Shettima is no longer living in Abuja house. The quarters they gave vice president. He's no longer living in, what do you call it? He's no longer living in the 21 billion mansion with a wicked built, because he believes that the properties have been bugged and there are visible security cameras that he has no control of where they go to. Do you understand? Like, you see security camera, but you don't know where they go to. The feed, where does the feed go to? Go straight into Bajabia Miller's office. Something that belittles Shettima so well that he's no longer sleeping in both houses. And now maybe they will come out tomorrow and say, no, it's not true. He slept there yesterday. The vice president only sleep in his house because he loves his cow. There's this special cow that lives inside his mansion in Abuja, and he cannot stay without the cow. That's why he had to stay there and spend weekend with his cow. They'll come and tell you. And all of us, the members of his staff, all of us working in his office, we love the cow too. And even the cow and us, we are very loyal to Mr. Presidiot. What if these guys are actually asking for help? Say, Joe, help me. I say something now, you should know that if I blink 3 times, I'm going to begin to pay attention to that. There are those who are psychologists who said, listen, if you are in trouble in public, you should blink 3 times, or you should blink 4 times and make some sign like that. What if Shettima is asking for help? Because nobody waiting them plan that they see. So Mumu Ticket has his own agenda. Unfortunately, thiefnubu has his own agenda. So agenda to finish agenda by agenda don't shop agenda. Mumu Ticket agenda, which Shettima bragged then that he will personally handle security and thiefnubu will handle economy. At the security, everything don't enter canal. So agenda to buy agenda me. Everybody didn't regret. What if the guy is asking for help? They were supposed to be in charge. Or no be waiting them back again than they get now. What if the guy is asking for help? I know it's easier for you to say, why can't he just resign and go home? Okay. Now, don't see somebody who joined court before. Have you seen somebody who joined court before and they are trying to leave? Do you think it's a social club where you just resign and just go home? Abi? Why can't he just resign and go home? Go home to where? Which home? Anyway, I'm not asking you to pity him. I'm just kind of like trying to, think outside the box as a talker. Remember when they told you that a rat chased Bokohari out of office? And a lot of people were like, na enemy. What the enemy didn't want Bokohari to come back to office. Meanwhile, they are hiding Bokohari from you. Remember? Now, 2 years later, after living that life for 6 years, Garbage Sheu, I kind of call him Garbage Sheu. Garbage in, garbage out. Or Femi Okoonu-Adesina. You remember them? He has come out now to say, oh yeah, it was just a light, we just lied, little light to Nigerians. There was no rat that chased Bokohari out of office. Just like there was never a snake that swallowed 40 million anywhere.
I mean, now that you are out of office, and the president is better now, what did they put in the air condition that made the president sick?
No, I'm not aware of that then. I'm not aware that there was anything in air conditioner that made him sick.
What made him
honest,
sick?
Nobody took me into confidence into that.
On that?
I never had discussed what was the nature of the ailment and what caused it.
Up to now?
I'm being honest with you.
Were you able to ask him?
I have never asked him. And it was not him.
Well, he told the nation that he was very sick. That
Yeah.
he thought
He said
he had lost the battle.
Yeah. But again, also, medical health of individuals, you and I, is private. And as much as possible, we keep it private. We keep it private.
But there are a lot of suspicion in the villa at the time. That those who are close to him and the manner in which security now looked at everyone, there were a lot of suspicion. And of course, as a journalist, we have our insider information.
There was nothing that wasn't said. You know that at some point it was that he had died or he had been replaced by a Jibril of Sudan.
What about the Jibril?
Well, that's the those who orchestrated the nonsense.
Because people were looking out for the ear, the left or the right ear, and
the same one.
So you see them laughing there. That was when they brought back what is considered as a clone. And since then, meanwhile, Bokohari is back in the hospital though. He's an old man, considering his public record. So which means they may announce to you soon that Bokohari is dead. And I don't know if that means anything to some of you, but just so you know. So they lied there to you. There are many other lies they told you. Enough that many of you have lost count. All right? I can bring some of them back, at least just for posterity's sake. One of them is that your refineries are now working. Do you remember how some of them called you names simply for asking questions about what they claimed that they are fixed? Now scratch that, because it is now obvious that it is a lie. Earlier today, Gote, the quota system billionaire of Nigeria, came out and he said, listen guys, your refineries will never work because I don't think they will ever work. And he's right. From his own total submission, Nigeria has expended over $18 billion trying to fix a moribund refinery. So it's never going to work. Now, I think we are now going to go on the another trip of fraud. And what is that? They are now planning to sell the refineries. But Batalofera scrap. I don't know. But here is Ojulari, the guy that replaced Mele Kyari in the rackets called NNPC. He's made it clear, among other lies, all right, that they will, the offer of them or the option of them selling the refineries is on the table. Now pay attention. OPL 245, the one Adoke wrote about, that rich, what do they call that thing again? Oil, they have a name for it, is now in the family of thiefnubu, his adopted family, just so you know. So maybe if they can buy your refineries and turn the scrap to something that, I don't know, Maybe they will just have to call the Bola boys to come around and say, yeah, come and take this thing. After $18 billion, Baba, here, the new NNPC guy talking about this sector, though. You should be interested. Listen.
And you've talked recently about rehabilitating some of the oil refineries. How is that going? Give us an update on the progress.
So our refineries, we made quite a lot of investment over the last several years and brought in a lot of technologies. We've been challenged. Some of those technologies have not worked as we expected so far. But also, as you know, when you're refining a very old refinery that has been abandoned for some time, what we're finding is that becoming a little bit more complicated. So we're reviewing all our refinery strategies now. We hope before the end of the year, we'll be able to conclude that review. That review may need to lead to us doing things slightly differently.
Yeah. Could it lead to the sale of some of these refineries? Might you look to sell some of them?
I can't say that now, but what we're saying is that sale is not out of the question. Well, all the options are on the table, to be frank, but that decision will be based on the outcome of the reviews we're doing now.
Okay. Let me ask you about Dangote specifically, minority shareholder. But are you happy with the situation where almost half of the feedstock that goes into the refinery is coming from the U.S. as opposed to Nigerian crude?
Well, first of all, Dangote refinery is a commercial investment. And I think it's very important to keep that in mind. It's a commercial decision. It wasn't a national investment. So the refinery has the flexibility to be able to import crude for its survival, and also have the flexibility to ensure that it goes out. I think if you look at it commercially, yeah, we will have to do more to ensure that there is a balance in terms of, the crude coming in from Nigerian crude. We're working on that. We think that will improve. But what we want to do is that we want to move away from government-dominated or domination on private sector businesses, right? We want the businesses, private sector, to have the freedom, and that's what the Nigerian government has been working on, to invest and do as they think. So if Nigeria is going to provide more supplies to Dangote refinery, it will be on a commercially willing buyer, willing seller basis, not because it's a policy. You see what I mean?
Yeah. I want to broaden out and actually.
So they're going to sell it. Michelle, it simply means you are giving an extra work to your brain, which is called brain tasking. Despite whatever it is that you are, working your mind working on, that particular spot, you're able to say, what if? That is what is lacking in many people. Critical thinking, use your imagination. These are not wild imagination. These are imaginations coming from the available information, characters, their antecedent, their history. You know what I mean? So either intuitively or instinctively or something like that, right? I use or subconsciously rather, because you have heard those information, you've mastered the face and the talking point of these guys. So it is easier somehow to process all this together and get a theory or an hypothesis. I have an hypothesis. What if? Oh, let's take a look at that. Okay, well, that's a possibility. Once people can say, oh, yeah, that's a possibility. Critical thinking. People don't get time. Hunger, everything by everybody. So when you see people who claim to be smart and their smartness is motivated by the hunger, and that smartness is basically how to get a quick fix, cheat somebody, get something, and feel that hunger. They call it smart. But when they have to use critical thinking in dealing with these rogues, they just have to kind of like let somebody else do that for them. Unfortunately, there are those hired by these rogues to tell these moves what they just need to hear. Since they can't think or process any of that, just tell them, go and tell them. So bless you, Michelle. That's another angle though. Yeah? But to them, in the Nigeria Info, Sir Jimmy Dizu had this to say.
Dangote has doubted the possibility of the state-owned Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna refineries functioning again, which means that they are dead. In spite of what this government said, all the money spent, all the propaganda, the celebration, the commissioning, the flag off, and everything, the 3 refineries are dead. And what did Dangote say? And he should know because he has a refinery.
Right.
He says, Dangote also stated the refineries which are under the management of NNPC had gobbled up to, hold on to your chair, $18 billion. So we are saying that we have put $18 billion.
18 billion.
We have put it in a container and thrown it down the ocean. Should the EFCC and whichever authorities now not be looking into where this money is? We are so $18 billion. Do you know what that could do for any country? And I wonder why we never really wanted to let go of these refineries. And we keep saying we are doing turnover, we are doing.
Or why can't we make it work?
No, we can't. I think that is something that you and I know, close to about 20-something years ago, that the government cannot run any enterprise. That's why these new states that are celebrating the airlines, I just look at them and I laugh.
Just give them some time.
I just look at them and I laugh. So everybody is clapping. Oh, our state has a new airline. They park the plane, people go. And I look and I just like, government cannot do business in this country. Go Dangote.
Ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kọ́ṣì ń bọ̀ wá, ìgbà kan máa dé, àsìkò kọ́ṣì ń bọ̀ wá, tólóró máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré, ayé máa sáré, ẹyẹ tí ò dúró rere máa sáré, àlórà máa sáré, HS tí kò mọ kankan máa sáré, everybody máa sáré, gbogbo wa pátá máa sáré, ìgbà yẹn ti dé, àsìkò yẹn náà là wá. Ìgbà yẹn ti dé, àsìkò yẹn náà là wá, everybody máa sáré, ọlọ́pàá máa sáré, àwọn tó ń ṣòro gan máa sáré, olúmọlẹ̀ máa sáré, àpènà máa sáré, olúwo ìlú gan máa sáré, everybody pátápátá máa sáré.
Sáré, àpènà máa sáré, olúwo ìlú máa sáré, ìgbà yẹn máa dé, àsìkò kan ṣe ń bọ̀ wá, ìgbà kan máa dé. It's a matter of time. Even though a lot of people have sort of seen that like a never would happen scenario. Hey, keep faith, right? Or keep faith rather, okay? Because Igbayemade is a matter of time. Or maybe it will never come. Let's look at the guy that's supposed to be in jail. A guy who's looted or stolen 107 billion naira, who paid the tuition of his children who are currently in kindergarten. He paid their tuition to university level in a private university while he was governor. He went on the ground for a while. When he was declared wanted, he became a fugitive that travels at night under the cover of night in tinted vehicles. A fugitive, hunted supposedly by his own friends in crime. Yeye Bello of Kogi, the white lizard of Kogi, is back on campaign trail, telling the people he looted 107 billion from, right? So ignore coalition. Which coalition? They have nothing to offer. Person will be said by now. Now by photo, people suppose they recognize and I say, who is this one? Sir, sorry, you don't know him? That guy now, that former Kogi governor that stole 107 billion. They feed them to crocodile now. That's why they don't know him bury. You don't get burial ground. You don't get thumb. I mean, so you don't get a tomb, but you don't get a burial ground. Kind of. See, oh, I remember now. So now like this, it look like the guy where they call white lizard. And now they feed them to the bigger lizards, the crocodile. Now waiting the judge see me then do and be that. But that one is a leader in front of his victims, yapping this.
Somewhere. But today,
the Kogi State House of Assembly is going to be one. There will be no minority leader again. Man Koolu, who is the minority leader in the State House of Assembly, is the captain today. So there will be no minority leader again. Only one minority leader is the campaign. That is all. Kogi is one party state. And by the special grace of God, come 2027, I have said it before, that there is no vacancy in Asuro. No vacancy. I want you to echo it. No vacancy in. No vacancy in. Okay, if it is true, then let's sing this song. On your mind, we shall stand. On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, louder. Louder. I want Mr. President to hear it in Brazil. Let him hear clearly, loud and clear, in Brazil. I say, on your mandate, we shall. If you believe, raise your hand. On your mandate, we shall. Wave your hand. On your mandate, wave your hand. Wave your hand. Your mandate, we shall stand. You see, this mandate, everybody continues to say, it's the President's mandate, it's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's mandate. This mandate are being given to him willingly by the people of Nigeria. And Nigerian people continue to say, please hold this mandate for us till 2031. Till 2031. You see, coalition. Who is doing more of coalition when everybody continues to decamp into our party? We are the one. At an appropriate time, we will show them what coalition means. Election of 2027 is going to be the simplest, the easiest election for all Progressive Congress and for Mr. President. In fact, we, the Nigerian people, the energetic, the strong, the younger generation, the Gen Zs, the women, we will tell Mr. President, don't even do any wahala of campaigning across the state. Confess your governance. It is our task. It will be our task to carry out the campaign for you nationwide, person to person, house to house, community to community, ward to ward, local government to local government, constituencies to constituencies, town to town, states to states across the federation, and the victory is going to be resounding. You know why? Because there are several things that have never been done that Mr. President is doing effortlessly and courageously. He's doing it at an appropriate time. We shall remind them. We will tell them where we started from in 2015. Where we started from, where we took over from PDP, and where our former president
of our grading leaders. Oh, Tonja, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. Or join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their agenda.
Continue. 70 years old man. Jesus is Lord. Jesus.
Now, for the sake of my viewers, apart from the cracker, or what do you call it, the funny way I present the broadcaster tonight, please take everything I am saying beyond just a laugh. It's not a laughing matter. I just want to make you comfortable enough to be able to take in the messages. Then, maybe after the program, digest some of them, sleep over them. Because in front of you right there is a hardened criminal. A very hardened criminal that robbed the whole state. But because a system that protects people like him is in place, he is ready to do everything to keep it in place. He is a hardened criminal who turned guns on his own people because of the same governorship position. They call him Governor Tatata. They have a song for him. They've sang his praise or his praises for organizing violence elections against his supposed opposition. And when I say violence, I'm talking about real gun violence. That guy. And he ended up stealing from them, impoverishing them further. Well, for a period like this, so that he could have them around him by sprinkling the crumbs from what he stole from them. Their 2027 is a do or die affair to so many of them. There's so much to lose. And if having to go out of their way to prove to thiefnubu that they are actually loyal, he could trust them. And mind you, Yeye Bello is being touted to, as somebody that is going to replace Gandola, the Babangida Mobile Banking CEO of Kano, the immediate past chairman of the Al-Qaeda People's Congress, People's Congress, APC, you know Gandola very well. An ardent criminal is being touted to come and replace him in the same People's Congress. Within them, there are more. And towards the 2027, they are gathering the army. You don't hear about Tapasego? Is bloodier, brutal than MC Olueron, who is now at the national level. Now them go carry your election paper, election ballot boxes, election this and that. Do you actually know that, by the way? They call them NURTW. They are the #1 partner to the Nigeria INEC. Now them go transport all the election materials across Nigeria. Here is their chairman in Lagos. To those of you who are preparing to go and participate in their charade, a stakeholder in their election, Oreo Tapasego, ladies and gentlemen.
Àwa Yorùbá, àwa la ní Lagos State, àtọ̀hún ìwà kan olùfọwọ́lálẹ̀ fún wa. Èyí tí mo fi kí bàbá special ni pé gbogbo àwọn baálẹ̀ bíi 4 sí 5 tọ́lọ tàṣẹ àgẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ sọ́dọ̀ ara bí bàbá sọ́mọ̀ gbogbo wọn, wọ́n dẹ̀ gba fìlà wọn, wọ́n gbà tọ́jú sí pálásì, wọ́n ní bàbá bó ṣì wọn lọ. Ẹ bá ń ṣe gbòòsà mẹ́ta fún kábíyèsí. Tí gbogbo ọba aládé tó kù tó bá ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, àwòkọ́ṣe tó darí. Ọ̀rọ̀ ará àbídọ́fẹ́ bá ṣẹnu wátawàta, wọ́n á mọ̀ ẹ́ pé Lagos State ọ̀wọ́ ọ̀kan lọ́ní òun ṣe no man's land. Ìyẹn ni mo fi kí bàbá. Ọ̀rọ̀ Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu àtọ̀rẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ APC ó tẹ̀ mí lógún púpọ̀. Èmi ò lè mójúpò bẹ́ẹ̀ ìṣèmójútó tó bá tẹ́ lógún dẹ̀ rẹ́rẹ̀ lókè. Tó bá tẹ́ lógún dẹ̀ rẹ́rẹ̀ lókè. Tó bá mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ti ń tẹ ló ti ń mu, báwa ṣe kùsà mẹ́ta f'Aṣíwájú Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu. Ẹ bá ẹni tó bá sọ pé kù.
Sorry if you don't understand Yoruba. That is the NURTW chairman in Lagos State, Tapasego. I'm not here to tell you much about him. We work on Google, Tapasego. They are empowered, emboldened by the government of Lagos State and, of course, Nigeria government. He is the guy that replaced MC Olueron. And according to him, what they did the last time in 2023 was a total mistake. It must never happen again. And Awara Ibi is referring to the Igbos because he is among the illiterate and nuisance that has been socially conditioned that way. So he's repeating what the APC, Egbekegbe, says, that the Igbo says Lagos is no man's land. So therefore, they must make sure that they don't vote in Lagos, even if they are Lagosians, born, bred, raised, living, paying tax, and not working, paying tax in that same Lagos. Awara Abi, yeah, they are the Awara Abi. Tomorrow, I think they're having local government elections tomorrow. And that is when they referred to that the local chiefs that attended, or sorry, that received the opposition political candidates in their palaces have been summoned. Their ceremonial caps have been taken from them to send a message to everybody that they would not allow anybody not only not to campaign, right? Not just not to campaign, they will make sure that anyone that is not associated with the APC, Egbekegbe, is not allowed to vote in Lagos. So are you ready? Same thing in Benin. This clown also has a similar message for you in Edo, since Ope-Odoyo has now been confirmed or affirmed by the Supreme Court of Injustice that he is your governor in Edo. If you be opposition in Edo, this clown has a message for you.
No matter. 2027. If we see any other political party banner or picture apart from APC for Edo, the person where they draw for that banner and the people where they come out, they will learn new things that very day. No matter. It's APC state and everything has to be APC because 2023, una see what your Obaseki do for this state. Even when they hang Tinubu banner with other APC, una see what your Obaseki do for this state. He drop all the banner, they tear all APC banners. They tear all APC banners. All of them for this state. All of them they clap at that time. Then now, Edo na APC state now. May we see any other political party banner. That person they draw for that banner with the people we go man. It's alright. We're gonna go learn new thing. No magic. That very day. No magic.
They are supposed to be practicing democracy, right? I have a lot to tell my children. And do you know something? How blessed I am. My children actually watches this. And they are watching it right from that place too. So my second daughter, she's planning to become a family lawyer. When I asked her, why do you want to be a family lawyer? She said, so that I could help people that are victims of bad governments. I said, oh, well, she's 12. My foster daughter wants to be a surgeon. And she wants to study that enough that, or because she wants to help those who can't help themselves, Kofo, from that place. However, characters like this are the reasons why the dreams of their lives will never materialize. Guys like this are the reasons why the dreams of these millions of children will never materialize, since with little crumb, people like him can help, justify all the unjustifiable, since he's benefiting from it. Meanwhile, he is actually a victim of a failed system himself, but he didn't know. How can he? Yeah? I didn't. Oh, I was shocked though. I'm meeting that, but I have to be honest though. I was having a chat with them the other day, and honestly speaking, I started feeling like, you must have did that in, like, that feeling. I don't know. I would see, I'm not talking to this, our uncles, you that are, within the age range with me, or if you have children who are between the ages of 16, 14, 12, 10, 3. So you can relate with some of the things I use as examples here, right? Honestly speaking, I just remember right now, Every time I remember, there's this smile on my face, and I'm like, oh, very soon, you know. I tell you, say, yeah, my dog, I don't know, I've not practiced it, but when they were telling me, right, I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, you can be anything you want to be, whatever you want to be. Yes, you can. And indeed, my children can be anything they want to be as long as I live, even if I don't live. Yeah, I mean, but they are existing in a place where they can tell children. So I need to tell them, keep this thing for them and tell you and say, see you. And the reason for this, so don't be say people know the way they want to do something better. But there are those who are, because of the benefit they are getting, the crumbs they are being fed, right? They are there to continue to enable, that abnormalities. And at the end of the day, everybody is going to be a victim. Everyone, including himself. And for Wiki, he also says the same thing to the people of Abuja. Don't waste your money. Tell them not to waste their money. We already know the results.
I don't know those who want to run an election in the area councils. I don't know what they will preach to the people. But those who are with us, they have the opportunity to tell people what we have done. So let people not waste their money. Let people not waste their money. The result is known.
The result is, tell people not to waste their money. Tell people not to waste their... In an election, in a democracy, the joke is on all of you that continue to say we are overreacting. We are the unpatriotic ones by pointing out all these lapses, all those little things you call them. Oh my God, they are not just little. They are very, very, very much significant because their effect is being felt by everybody. Even when you are beyond the shores of that contraption. I've enjoyed myself this evening, so I'm taking my break now. So should you. If you joined us from the start, remember, there's something you can do for me. If you haven't done that already, like the broadcast, okay? Come on. Like the broadcast and help me share it. And if you joined us midway, right, you can possibly watch it from the start. I mean, you won't regret doing that, okay? So then subscribe onto my Egun's Diary Political. I'll save the rest for tomorrow. Guys, enjoy the rest of enjoy the rest of your evening. And at the same time, enjoy the rest of the weekend, or have a wonderful weekend. So it's going to be a good night from here. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Mayegun Diary politico. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun Diary Ayébi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun
ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí Presidiot bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.